When life breaks you, it feels like the world is crashing down, dreams shattered, strength drained, and hope slipping away. But hear me, being broken is not the end. It is the moment life is testing your courage to rise again. Every scar tells a story of survival, every tear waters the seed of resilience, and every setback is preparing you for a greater comeback. Diamonds are formed under pressure, warriors are built through battles, and so are you. Remember, life may break you, but it cannot defeat you unless you quit. Stand tall. Your comeback starts today. Pain is not the end, it's the beginning. Life has an undeniable way of us, through moments that shatter our plans, shake our confidence, and bring us face with pain we never imagined we could endure. Be the loss of someone we deeply love, the collapse we worked tirelessly for, or the sudden change of circumstances that strips us of everything familiar. When these storms arrive, the reaction is often despair. We ask ourselves, why me? Why now? Why this? That's the point where the weight of brokenness is unbearable. Yet, in that same place of pain lies the seed of transformation. When everything crumbles, what is actually happening is not just destruction. It is the away of what no longer serves us. Pain, though brutal, is not a signal that life is over. It is an announcement that something new to emerge. Just as soils be torn open to plant a seed, our hearts some be broken for growth to take root. Without pain, remain unchanged, stuck in the comfort of the. With it, however, we are forced to look deeper, think differently, and become more than we were yet. Think of the strongest people who did not come with ease, privilege, comfort. It came from seasons when life broke them. They faced rejection, betrayal, failures, disappointments, and losses that seemed impossible to overcome. Yet somehow, through tears, through sleepless nights, lonely mornings, they rose again. And when they rose, they carried wisdom, empathy, and resilience that could not have been developed in peaceful waters. Strength only in fire, and courage is awakened only when fear surrounds us. Pain carves us into deeper, fuller human beings. It strips away arrogance, entitlement, and false pride. It teaches humility and reminds us of our shared humanity. The moments that also connect us to others. Pain is universal. Every person, no matter who they are, has endured their share of heartbreak. And in that shared we discover connection and the power to lift each. The very thing that once seemed like the end becomes the bridge to greater understanding of. There is also another gift hidden within brokenness, clarity. When every thought mattered falls apart, you begin to see what truly does. The world fades, and the voice within grows stronger. To ask yourself, who am I without the titles, the possessions? What remains when everything else is stripped away? The answer to those questions is your foundation. That is where reality is discovered, in the applause, not in the approval of others, but in the unshakable core that pain cannot destroy. We often believe we are fragile, that if life breaks us, we will never recover. But the truth is, human beings are remarkably broken bones heal stronger at the puncture. Wounds leave scars that remind us of weakness, but of battles survived. When your spirit feels shattered, it is destroyed. It is being rebuilt with greater strength than before. What you thought was the end of the story is often the beginning of the most. Pain arrives. Instead of seeing it as the final blow, recognize it as the turning point. That moment of break is where the transition begins. Life is not finished with you. The hardship you are facing is shaping you. What comes next. Pain, punishment. It is, and though it may one day you will look back and see the moment life broke. You was the same began remaking you into someone unstoppable. Broken crayons, still color. There's a once something is broken, its value disappear. We throw away shattered glass, discard torn clothes, or objects that no longer appear. But people are not objects. Human worth cannot be measured by cracks, scars, mistakes. even in still matter. Just like broken crayons, you still have the ability to create, to inspire, to shine, and to bring beauty into the world, no matter how many times life has chipped away at you. Oh, think about a child box of crayons. Some are sharp, some are dull, some are cracked, and some are broken in half. Yet every single one can still make on the page. The broken one is pretty, but they still vibrant color inside. That is exactly who you are. Your experiences, struggles, and wounds do not erase your potential. If anything, they add depth, richness, and texture to the story you remember. Now, many people believe that only those who have it all together are capable of making it. But the truth is, some of the most powerful leaders, thinkers, and builders in history were individuals who carried visible, invisible scars. They knew the sting of rejection, the weight of failure, the emptiness of loss, and the heaviness of despair. Despite being broken, they still chose to show up, still chose to give what they had, still chose to color the of life. Your imperfections are unique marks of authenticity. Crayon with dents and cracks may not look flawless, but sometimes it produces shades and strokes perfect one never. In the same way, your pain shapes your perspective, hardships deepen your empathy, and your struggles give you insight that broken paths could never provide. People connect more to honest affection, and when you allow your brokenness to be seen, it bridges that help others heal. There is tremendous power in refusing to hide your scars. Too many silence, ashamed of or fearful struggles make them unworthy. But what if your very broke thing that someone else to feel less alone? What if the story of your cracks becomes the light that guides someone through their darkness? The truth is, broken crayons do not coloring. They leave the most memorable marks. They carry proof that is possible even after breaking. Sometimes we'll try to convince you that you are too damaged, too flawed, too incomplete to matter. But remember, masterpiece is not determined by the condition of the brush, but by the vision of the artist. Life itself is the artist, and it can take even the most fractures of your journey, transform them into something breathtaking. What seems like a mess to you might become a masterpiece for someone who sees hope reflected resilience. When you feel useless, remind yourself, long as there is breath in your body, you still hold purpose. Brokenness does not cancel destiny. In fact, it often refines it. Colors only emerge when the crayon has been worn down. Strengths only appear after you've endured trials. Every moment of struggle has given you a new shade to use, and those shades are what make your story unforgettable. So if you are by life, do not hide your colors. Take whatever pieces left and create something beautiful with them. Because even when broken, you can still bring brightness to dark places. You can still add meaning spaces, and you can still leave a mark that proves brokenness is not the end of usefulness. It is simply a different way. Growth comes through struggle. Struggle is often seen as an enemy, something to escape, something to avoid at all costs. Yet, hidden within every challenge is the opportunity for transformation. The truth is, without resistance, growth is impossible. Muscles strengthen only when pushed to their limit. Minds sharpen only when stretched by difficulty. And character develops only when tested in the fires of hardship. Every obstacle that appears in your not placed there to destroy you, but to reveal who you can become once you love it. In it can process of a seed buried beneath the soil. It must push through the weight, breaking darkness before it can ever feel the warmth of the sun. Without that struggle, no growth would occur, no roots would take hold, life would emerge. Human no different. Our greatest qualities, patience, courage, resilience, are all born in moments when life feels unbearable. Struggle, though pain, is the soil from which strength grows. Think about the most inspiring figures throughout history. Their legacies were not built in times of ease. They became who they because they endured storms, setbacks, and opposition was carved into their spirit because they refused to let difficulty define them. Weight that was meant to crush them, instead, resistance that built. It is the same with the struggles you face today are not weakness, but proof of being shaped for something greater. Struggle strips away illusions. When everything's easy to believe, we're strong and disciplined. But does it test those qualities? Hardship does. When adversity comes, you find out what values matter most, what kind of spirit lives inside you. Struggle is the mirror that reveals your inner self. And when you face it head on, clarity about your identity and your purpose. Every struggle, a teacher, it teaches patience. When answers don't come quickly, it teaches perseverance when progress feels invisible, activity when old methods longer work. And it teaches you realize you can't do everything alone. The lessons carved into your heart during struggle are the very tools that prepare you for opportunities ahead. Without them, you would not be ready for the blessings waiting on the other side. Imagine a diamond before shines. It begins as a rough, remarkable stone. Under immense heat and pressure, does it transform to something priceless? In the same way, your struggles are not meaning that they are the heat and pressure shaping you into your highest. You may feel crushed but transformation is happening beneath this. One day, you will look back and see that the very weight you hated carried within it. The power that changes you forever. Your growth is rarely cool. It stretches you in directions never intended to go. It forces you to leave behind habits, excuses, and fears that once felt safe. Struggle pushes you out of the shallow waters of comfort and into the deep oceans of possibility. And while those waters may feel terrifying, they are where you discover your true strength. You don't learn how strong you are until you are placed in situations that demand strength you never thought had. So when hardship arrives, instead of asking, why is this, ask, what is this thing within me? That question shifts the perspective, changes the storm from punishment to preparation. Trial you equipped with something essential for your journey ahead. Your comeback will inspire others. Every time life knocks you down, you are given a choice: stay on the ground or rise again. Falling is part of the human journey, but what truly defines a person is how they respond to being broken by circumstances. The most powerful stories we celebrate are not the ones where everything went right. They are the ones where someone fell, struggled, and then fought their way back stronger than before. Your comeback has the potential to become that kind of story, a light that shows others what resilience looks like in action. People often believe their struggles disqualify them from making a difference, but the opposite is true. Struggle qualifies you to lead, to encourage, to inspire, because you know firsthand the weight of pain, the sting of failure, and the emptiness of loss. When you rise again after being broken, you carry proof that recovery is possible. Others who are lost in darkness see your light and realize they are not alone. Your journey becomes a living message of hope. Think about athletes who suffered devastating injuries, yet fought their way back to competition. Or leaders who endured public failure, yet returned stronger and more determined. Or everyday people who survived personal tragedies and used their experience to help others rebuild. What makes their stories unforgettable is not perfection, it is the comeback. The scars they carry are not weaknesses, evidence of battles survived. Every time you rise from a fall, you add another chapter of inspiration to your life book. Your comeback also has the power to create ripple effects far beyond what you can imagine. Someone watching your persistence may decide not to quit on their own dream. Someone observing your strength may gather the courage to keep fighting their own battle. Someone hearing your testimony may believe in second chances because you demonstrated what is possible without even realizing it. Your resilience can become the spark that ignites another person's determination. The beauty of a comeback lies in its contrast. Without hardship, Victory, doesn't it shine as brightly? Without failure, triumph does its tea taste as sweet. Without loss, restoration does its tea feel as meaningful. The greater the struggle, the greater the story when you rise again. Your comeback demonstrates that even when life strips everything away, the spirit inside you is unbreakable. That message resonates far louder than any words ever could. When you choose to rise, you not only proving something to yourself, you resetting an example for others. Children, friends, family members, or even strangers may draw strength from your resilience. They see you endure setbacks and keep going. And it plants a seed within them that says, if they can do it, maybe I can too. That quiet influence can change lives in ways you may never fully realize. It's important to understand that your comeback doesn't have to be dramatic to be powerful. You don't need a stage, a spotlight, or a crowd of admirers. Sometimes the greatest inspiration comes from simple persistence, getting up each day, refusing to surrender, and continuing to move forward step by step. Your strength is revealed in those ordinary moments when you choose courage over fear, determination over defeat, and hope over despair. And when you finally reach the point where you have rebuilt, grown, and reclaimed your power, your story will carry a weight that words alone cannot match. People will look at you and see not just survival, but triumph. They will see proof that no matter how hard life hits, it is always possible to get back up. Your comeback will stand as a reminder that brokenness is not the end, it is the stage for resilience to shine. When life breaks you, remember this: it is not the end of your story, but the beginning of your strength. Brokenness does not define you, your decision to rise does. Every scar carries proof that you survived. Every struggle shapes a stronger you, and every comeback inspires someone else to keep going. Life may break you, but it can never defeat you unless you choose to quit. Stand tall, fight forward, and let your resilience become the light that guides others through their own darkness.